This chapter is about the yes part of the conversation, because telling kids don't take pills isn't enough. We need to give them better tools, healthier ways to handle stress, anxiety, pressure, all the hard parts of being young. That's what builds real resilience. That's what gives them an alternative when life feels overwhelming. So let's talk about skills over pills.
The New Drug Talk by Song for Charlie. Chapter 4, Skills Over Pills Build Resilience.
Marsha Lee Taylor, you've heard from her in earlier chapters, works with families dealing with addiction and mental health challenges. Remember how she talked about the perfect storm?
I think it's a perfect storm. You've got kids who are really struggling with a lot of social anxiety, particularly depression, and an inability to cope with some of the big feelings they're having. Look at the isolation that's sort of magnified by social media, the sort of looking at everyone else's perfect life and feeling like yours is not so perfect, and also the deadliness of the drug supply.
That last part about everyone else's perfect life on social media, that's huge. And there's another cultural piece here too. This generation grew up seeing pills as the answer to everything. Let me explain what I mean.
This is the generation that's very familiar with prescription meds. It's no surprise that some kids feeling overwhelmed and deciding to pull back, that one of the behaviors they would engage in is, I'm just going to get a pill, a medicine. I'm not going to take hard drugs. I'm going to take a pill and just check out for a while, play some video games, watch a movie.
So here's what Mary and I envision. A future where taking random pills is seen as uncool and dangerous, where young people choose healthy ways of dealing with stress and anxiety over self-medication. That's the mission of Song for Charlie. But what does that actually look like? What are those healthier choices? Let's get specific. Dr. Lisa Damour is a psychologist and one of the leading experts on teen mental health in the country. She's on the advisory board of Song for Charlie. She said something that really stuck with me. Parents need to make clear to their children that they will have lousy days, and all that matters are the choices they make around coping. Not whether you have bad days, everyone does, but what you do with them. Let me get really practical here. What are some healthy ways to handle stress or anxiety? Well, exercise. And I don't mean becoming an athlete, just moving your body, walking, dancing, whatever. Talking to someone, a friend, a parent, a counselor, a coach. Creative outlets, music, art, writing, even just doodling. Sleep, which sounds obvious, but teenagers are chronically sleep deprived. Spending time outside in nature. Meditation or simple breathing exercises. The point isn't that any one thing is magic. It's building a toolkit of things that work for you, different tools for different situations. Now I want to tell you about Cal Epstein. You heard about him briefly in an earlier chapter. Cal was 18, dealing with anxiety, and here's what breaks my heart. The night before he died, he was online researching. His father, John, found his search history. Here's what Cal was looking up.
We discovered in his browsing history that the day before he purchased this pill, he had gone online and asked, what is OxyContin? What's a safe dose for my weight? And how will it interact with my anxiety medicine? He definitely did not have a dependency or substance use disorder, which I say not because that makes Cal in any way a better person or his death matter more, but because I mostly would like others to know that there may not be signs and that you don't have to be down the road of dependency or addiction to suffer what happened to Cal in the age of fentanyl.
Cal was trying to be careful. He researched. He tried to calculate a safe dose, but there is no safe dose of a fake prescription pill. That's what's so insidious about this. The old harm reduction strategies, the things that used to keep people safer, they don't work with counterfeit pills. The only safe choice is no random pills. Individual coping skills are critical, but they work best in the context of a supportive environment, at home, at school, in the community. So let's talk about what families can do to create that environment. John Epstein talks about what he wishes had been different, starting with making it okay to ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help. There's no valor in, having day after tough day and sticking it out and burying our feelings and saying, I can get through this without anyone else's help.
One thing John said there really hit me. It's okay to ask for help. But here's the thing. Kids need to see us adults doing it. They need to see you having a bad day and saying, I'm stressed, I'm going to go for a walk. Or I need to talk to someone about this. Or I'm not okay right now, and I'm going to do something about it. It's important for us to model the coping skills we want our kids to use. Rana Hashemi, the young advocate you heard from in the last episode, has a really interesting perspective on this. She talks about how the biggest resource we have in this crisis isn't adults or experts, it's young people themselves. Here's what she means.
I think our greatest and most untapped resource in this crisis is young people themselves. And when we prepare young people beginning in 6th and 7th and 8th grade to be peer educators, to be leaders of public health in this space, we shift culture. And it's not drug education that prevents drug problems, it's culture that prevents drug problems. And young people are shapers of culture.
That line, it's not drug education that prevents drug problems, it's culture, that's everything right there. We're not trying to scare kids straight. We're trying to create a culture where taking random pills is seen as dangerous and uncool, where asking for help is normal, where mental health matters. Madeline Hilliard, the harm reduction educator you've heard from, reminds us that this crisis is entirely preventable. That's both heartbreaking and hopeful. Heartbreaking because every loss was avoidable. Hopeful because we can stop this. Here's Madeline.
None of us asked for this crisis. None of us asked to have people we love passing away due to a preventable cause, but that is the thing about it is entirely preventable. And every single one of us can do our part by being educated and carrying materials on us that have the capacity to save lives.
So, let me wrap up with some principles for creating a supportive family environment. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's creating space for hard conversations. It's modeling healthy coping, showing your kids how you deal with stress. It's celebrating help-seeking instead of shaming it. It's knowing your kids' friends, being available without hovering, trusting them while staying involved. Most of all, it's showing up consistently with love, even when things get messy, especially when things get messy. Mary and I can't bring Charlie back. We can't change what happened on May 14th, 2020, but we can honor him by helping other families avoid what we've gone through. Every conversation you have, every healthy coping skill you model, every time you create space for your kid to come to you, that matters. You're building resilience. You're choosing skills over pills. And you might be saving a life. Charlie would want that. That's his legacy. There's one more chapter, a bonus chapter designed for you to listen to together as a family. Parents and kids in the same room. It pulls together the most important points from all 4 episodes we've done, because these conversations work best when everyone's in them together. Pause for now and come back when you're ready.